Just when you thought you'd be talking straightforward football, FA Cup game, massive game at the Emirates today, we get more transfer window speculation and probably more than speculation. A bit of a bombshell. Garnacho, now top target according to sources we're getting into right now for Napoli. Napoli, who are looking to sell kvaratskhelia, who was asked to leave the club this month, already looking like a replacement is being made and sounded out, and it's not Marcus Rashford. Antonio Conte apparently wants Alejandro Garnacho, and we're hearing that they are already making moves and getting ready to contact Manchester United regarding this situation. I'm going to get into all of the reports on this and around this. We are going to be talking about the build-up to the game against Arsenal today as well, but this news cannot not be spoken about. We need to get into this and know exactly where we stand with what is going on with the Garnacho situation. We know that he's been out of favour. We know there's been problems behind the scene. We know he's been left out of the squad. We know all of the details leading up to this. He has got a lot to learn in terms of Amorims' system, and we were all hoping that he could just carry on. And maybe this transfer window, we're just going to we'll see the end of Casemiro. We'll see the end of Marcus Rashford. We'll regroup. Maybe Garnacho can get better throughout this season. We'll look again at what could happen in the summer transfer window, but no, I said this earlier on this morning, the kvaratskhelia sale from Napoli, if this does happen this month, is going to send ripples throughout the transfer window in every single country. Napoli will have money. Napoli are chasing a title. Napoli are chasing trophies. They are about to lose one of their biggest and most influential players from that squad, if it is to be true, and him heading over to PSG, and they want a replacement in as soon as possible. We talked possibly about them coming back in and buying Rashford for that cut price 35 million that United had on the table. Obviously Rashford's got his situation with AC Milan right now. We talked on two different channels, Football Talks and FUTV this morning, about Kyle Walker's influence in what happens at AC Milan now. Are they going to be able to buy two? Because it's reported that Kyle Walker is going to Milan as well, or the talks are ongoing. We know about talks with Rashford for AC Milan. What is happening right now? There is one big old merry-go-round, full rotation now going for this, and the speed is getting faster, it's getting quicker, and everything is happening right now. Garnacho to Napoli is the talk of the town right now, and we are going to get into what is going on with this. Let's get into the reports. Let's get into what is actually happening with this and where this has come from. All of a sudden, bang, like we said before, just when you're thinking you can just concentrate on a day of football, no, not with Manchester United. There is serious issues going on right now behind the scenes with what's going on, and a lot of concerns around financial fair play we're going to get into as well in a moment. I just want to talk through the Garnacho situation first of all. And Antonio Conte, this is the news coming out, and this has come from Michele Cristatiello. I don't know how to say that. I'm just going to say it again. Cristatiello, I think he is the CEO of Sport Italia, a journalist over there in Italy. And he has said that Antonio Conte has decided he wants Napoli to sign Alejandro Garnacho to replace kvaratskhelia. It goes on to say that Napoli sporting director Giovanni Manna is already working to open contracts with Manchester United and Garnacho. And now everybody is jumping onto this, and every aggregator account on Twitter is all over it as well, talking about this. It is the talk of the town, like we said. What is going on? Where did this come from? But it came from what we were talking about earlier on. If it does look like Kvicha is leaving Napoli, then they need a replacement. They are going to need to buy someone. And right now, I'll ask the chat. I've put a poll up there to ask you all. Would you sell Garnacho this month for 50 million? Would that be all right? And I don't know. I don't know where everyone's heads are at. I think 50 million for Ghana now. I think you're probably looking at it going, do you know what? Is he going to get a chance to improve under Amorims? Is he going to be a bench player? Can we afford to be turning 50 million down for a bench player? And I say that, obviously, because I'm expecting United to bring in reinforcements in the summer. And if Garnacho hasn't turned it around this season, he could be a bench player. 50 million. That goes a long way. That's homegrown. That's 100% profit. and it settles a lot of issues. And I just want to bring up a couple of things regarding Manchester United, PSR, and what's happening with this right now. Just so you brought up, The Guardian's done a piece on PSR, which has just come out. Manchester United's pre-tax losses quadrupled to 131 million last season because of an increased wage bill, interest payments, and costs associated with Sir Jim Ratcliffe's investment. The Premier League will issue disciplinary charges this week against any clubs it deems to have breached the profit and sustainability rules, PSR, for the 2021 to 24 accounting period. So, anything that is going to be brought up for teams that haven't met the criteria for that period, 21 to 24, which is what we have just had, are going to be brought up this week. I don't think Manchester United are in that bracket, is what I'll say straight out of the bag, for the 24 one anyway. I think what we're in danger of is this year's annual added to the previous 2 years. So it runs off a 3-year cycle, which is why punishments for 21 to 24 are coming in this week, because the year has just ended, and everyone that fell short of anything in that period is going to be brought up. Obviously, this will move on to the same time next year again for this year coming now. So, for instance, last season when Everton and Nottingham Forest got their charges, it was because of the 20 to 23 financial year. You get where I'm going with this? It's a rolling 1 year for a 3-year based financial period, if that makes sense. So next time it will be 22 to 25, and what Manchester United have done in them 3 years could be quite significant, and why we're having a little bit of a panic right now. So just to make it clear, what the Guardian is saying, and the teams that are going to be punished this week, if anyone has fallen short, we're going to find out. I don't think United are in that, but what we are going to see, I think, this time next year is the concerns of what's happening right now on United's PSR situation. We cannot afford to buy Kolo Muani on his wages because of PSR. That should tell you everything you need to know about how tight and how close this is right now. So United have got from now until June 30th to rectify this issue. Now, if United feel like they could maybe promote a youngster and sell Garnacho now, take the 100% profit for this year, for this financial year, from Garnacho's sale now, this would pretty much safeguard United of any issues at all. We could, in fact, even maybe make a deal for another player to come in for the money that we get for Alejandro Garnacho, because it's 100% profit. We could put in an instalment plan for somebody else. I'm pretty clear on that, and hopefully that's clear for everybody to understand where United's predicament is at the moment, if in fact there is one. Ornstein coming out before, like we've spoken about, saying that United are not, in what he's been told, in danger, but they have to be very careful. Any sale, any movement. So, for instance, the 3 players that we're talking about right now, Garnacho, Casemiro, Rashford, if things were to happen for these players this month, it would take any question of United falling short of any PSR failings before June 30th for this financial year. It would also give us a shed load of money to actually invest into the summer transfer window, because you will be adding the Jadon Sancho fee to that one as well, and everything else that comes along with what Manchester United can do, hopefully this season, performance-wise on the pitch, i.e. getting the bleeding Champions League. My God, United need that desperately. But it's a fine balancing act. What do United do? Do we have to invest and go over? Or do we just try and get into the Champions League to balance it that way? Really, really complicated situation right now. So, as it stands, I don't think United will be getting any points deducted this season, because that was for the 21 to 24. So, anything coming out now, like it was with Everton and Forest last year, at this point, I don't think United are going to fall short of that. What happens from now until the end of this summer, end of the season, and going into June 30th will count for this time next year for Manchester United. So if we do manage to sell Garnacho now, that goes in this year's finances. But then we could spend that money in the next financial year, if that makes sense. It's a revolving year on year, and it's complicated. But just so you know, that's basically it. If anything was sold by United and they didn't bring anyone in this month, then we would be 100% certain for next year's as well. But it is literally, we are just keeping our heads above water, it would seem, when it comes to financial fair play. It's crazy. I was going to check out this poll right now. Keep your keep your likes coming in. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV, everybody, as well. Let's get as many people in the room. We are going to talk about the Arsenal game in the next segment, but the start of the show is all about Manchester United's predicament. Would you sell Garnacho for 50 million right now? That is the offer, apparently, that is going to be on the table. 63% of you have said that you would sell Garnacho right now in January. That's really interesting. Keep them votes coming in the poll, everybody. A few people are saying, Joe says 70 to 90 million. His potential is worth it. Garnacho's future, says Ewan. If United are so concerned about PSR, why do we keep a hold of players on huge contracts for so long and get them out? This is where it's all coming to hit United right now. Why do you think the Glazers sold the football club or part of the football club? They needed something else to come into this. They've got their money. They're not bothered right now. Ineos are running Manchester United from top to bottom right now. And that's just an advisory section, the advisory part that Glazers have got. That's exactly what was said in The Athletic recently as well. So realistically right now, they have maxed out. Everything that they have done is all going to come home to roost at this point, and this is what we're seeing right now. So everything the Glazers have done wrong at the football club is being laid down on Ineos right now, and they're the ones having to deal with it. So they have pulled an absolute blinder in this. They really have, the Glazers. Let's just see. Let's just see how we get ourselves out of it. But again, it comes down to what we were saying this morning. Ruben Amorims, with players he wants, with players he doesn't want, with players that are willing to play for him and do his style or don't. If there is any opportunity of players that are not going to be part of this project, they will be sold. There is no question about it. There's no comeback. There's no comeback at all from it. In fact, United will have to sell if they want to fall into the rules and regulations of PSR and financial fair play. And if they, like we said before, if we definitely want to bring new players in, honestly, results are massive for United. Qualifying for the Champions League is huge for United. Actually, getting further up that Premier League table does count now, because you get more and more money the further you finish up the table. So United should just be concentrating realistically on winning as many games as possible. But again, that's the balancing act, isn't it? Like I said, do Ineos now sell a player and leave Ruben Amorims short of going to the actual Holy Grail, which is getting into the Champions League, just to balance the books now? Man, this team and this club looks like it is in an absolute hole at the moment financially, doesn't it? It really does. Disappointing to see. But just before we move on and get into the game itself, just want to go over the news again. Manchester United's Alejandro Garnacho is now a top target for Napoli. Kvicha Kvaratskhelia has told Antonio Conte at Napoli that he wants out of the football club this month. Napoli are chasing a title. They want a replacement in. They want a player in as quickly as possible. Garnacho is out of favour at Manchester United, and it now looks like contacts have started and Napoli want him. Price is set around 50 million. We will see if that rises over the coming days, and we'll see if this story develops any further. But that is the news coming out of United right now. Question is, would you let Garnacho go for 50 million right now, with possibly not getting a replacement in for him either? Let me know. Okay, let's get into a conversation. Let's get into what's happening with today and Manchester United against our old rivals, Arteta and Arsenal. We've had a rehearsal for this, haven't we? Earlier on in the Premier League. And United came out of it quite well. United did come out of it with some flowers. They actually did play well. I think we did all right in possession. Obviously, momentum changed as soon as Manchester United conceded one of the many bleeding corners. So how do United change it today? There is a definite shift in attitude. There is a definite shift in confidence amongst the Manchester United fans. I've found alone, just looking into this game, that United fans are a lot more optimistic. After the Liverpool performance and then another week's training, obviously leading into Liverpool, we had our first full week training with no games in midweek. We've had that backed up now with another week after the Liverpool game with more training, and everybody still fit from the Liverpool game. No more extra injuries. And just so we're clear on everything that's going into this game, we know what the squad is. The first team players that are not available for Manchester United: Rashford, obviously, Evans, Lindelof, Shaw, Mason Mount. Them 5 first team players are not in the squad today. That is it. They're the only injuries United have got, so no need to panic for Manchester United. Plenty of options there plenty of options in every single position. Everybody's fit, everybody's fresh, lots of rest time in the legs, lots of training. So I think physically and mentally, Manchester United under Ruben Amorims are probably going into a game probably the best condition that they've been right now. Obviously, you could do with a couple more players being available, but I feel like this game, we could not be better prepared for it. And I say that in most ways. I say that mentally after the Liverpool result, actually having that week up to Liverpool after the disaster that was the week before, and losing to Bournemouth and Newcastle, to get over that with a bit more training and understanding of Ruben, then get that brilliant performance against Liverpool in which we should have won, and now another break where we've got plenty of training time. Everyone confident after the Liverpool game, looking to get back out there again and show the manager what they've got. And obviously rest time. Honestly, mentally, physically, we are in the best condition we can be right now going into a game. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what we get out of this today. Really am. Honestly, I cannot wait to see what Manchester United side turns up and how Ruben puts them out there. Looking forward, hopefully, to seeing Ahmad in the team. I'm just going to go through my team, first of all. And obviously, there is no real rumours of teams breaking out just yet. Nothing seriously concrete or anything like that has come out just yet. But still, when we get it, when we see it, just a quick update as well. The Diego Leon situation, that medical is going to be today, definitely. That's happening today, and everything will be official for him to come in. That was another bit of a transfer update there. That's come out from Fabrizio Romano just now as well. I'm just checking on other things quickly. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm completely up to date with everything going on. There is no team news leaked out or anything just yet. Obviously, it would be a bit early with everything that's going on. Hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, everyone who's just joining us. If you need to check back on the main headline from the story with Garnacho, that is at the first 15 minutes of the show. We're now moving on to the game itself and Arsenal today. My team would obviously be, and I think this pretty much picks itself. Obviously, we know Bayendare is going to be in goal because Ruben has told us in the press conference on Friday he's in goal. The back three would be Leacher, Maguire and De Ligt for me. Same ones that performed so well against Liverpool. That would be the same back three that performed well against Arsenal as well, apart from set pieces. In that game previously we were talking about in the Premier League with Ruben Amorims against Arsenal at the Emirates. So then into the wing-back areas, this is where it gets complicated, obviously. We know we don't... Dalot did a lot better on the left. A lot better on the left-hand side. And hopefully he has the same game again, because you're going to be having the Arsenal team pushing further forward. And United are going to have to be brave in this game. So maybe there is space for Dalot again in this type of game to perform well. He has done well at the Emirates in previous games. So let's look at that. Honestly, Dalot left, Mazraoui probably right. I think that's the way it's going to be. It comes with its limitations, but again, these players have had another full week of training, so we're probably expecting to see better performances from these wing-backs again this week. That's going to be interesting. I think, obviously, with all of the talk and everything that's gone on this week, not just saying that that's the reason why Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte will be in at central midfield. I do believe that Kobbie and Manuel Ugarte have both played well recently and were outstanding against Liverpool, and that's going to have to be exactly the same again. Dealing with Odegaard, dealing with Rice, Partey, all of these players in the middle for Arsenal. This is a tough game for United today. And we're hoping to have caught Arsenal cold. So Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte in the middle. We haven't got many options up top. Obviously, we're going to have Bruno in 110, I feel. And we're going to have Ahmad in the other 10. I think that's pretty much set. And I do believe it will be Rasmus Højlund over Joshua Zirkzee. But I'm not saying we're not going to have Joshua Zirkzee playing today. That's just my pick. That's just what I think what United will line up with in this game. Please keep liking the video. Get your comments in as well. Make sure you have subscribed so you can comment in the live chat. Give me your team. Who are you starting today? And give me some score predictions right now, everybody, please, as well. I want to know how you're feeling about the game today. I want to know how you're feeling. Pick your starting back three today. We've got a poll running right now to start things off. All your options are there. So go for it. Licha, Maguire, De Ligt, Yoro, De Ligt, Licha, Mazraoui, Maguire, De Ligt. None of the above is another option you've got there as well. But yeah, get your back three into me as well, everybody. Skiliano says Amorim won't play Xerxes in the 9 again. He can't, after saying it in public that he's not a 9. He needs to learn more. He needs to do more, he said as well, Skiliano. So again, like going back to, I don't think Mazraoui is his ideal right wing back. You could still see him maybe playing today, but obviously having had another full week's training and time to learn a bit more, he could be into this Manchester United team today and play better. And it's the same for Xerxes. He could actually have done a little bit more training, feel a little bit more upbeat, and we are in a position where, let's just look at it this way, United are feeling, again, like I said, more confident going into this game. So yeah, that would be my team. That's what I think would go. Plenty of options on the bench. When you look at Arsenal, obviously, well, they've got injury concerns. No Saka is a bonus. You've got other players that are missing as well, like Ben White, who's been a long-term absentee for them. I don't even know what's happening with Odegaard at the moment, if he's fit or if he isn't fit. There is all different conversations going around right now with him under the Arsenal. Wanyere as well, who was the replacement for Saka, is also out injured. So United, really, when you look at it, I'm not saying that Arsenal are not favourites. I'm not. But there are plenty of people today talking about Arsenal, about Manchester United probably feeling like they have got a good chance. And some would say, I guarantee some would say that United will go into this game as favourites today off everything that's going on. Just off one game against Liverpool and Arsenal's form at the moment, which isn't fantastic. Obviously, Brighton draw, then losing to Newcastle. It could be lost a chance in the Premier League, out of that race, then out of the Carabao Cup, and then out of the FA Cup. And I said in the early show on Football Talks today, our other channel, that Arteta's questions will be flooding in, and questions about his future as Arsenal manager. This is the pressure that he's under today. This is the pressure that this Arsenal team is under today. So when I go into this game confident, I also go into this game with a bit of trepidation, thinking, are we hitting a wounded animal here right now? And are Arsenal going to come out firing just to prove a point? And there isn't any better team to take down right now than United to actually boost your confidence again. This is what United are up against. And Ruben Amorims will know this. He will know what's coming today, and he will have these players fully prepared for what's coming today. And like he said in his press conference, embargoed version, we touched on it this morning, how it's not just about the perfect setup, the perfect game where everyone's watching, a cup final, great weather. You have to dig in and do it in every single game. Now, the FA Cup in the early rounds isn't as glamorous as what it is when it gets to the latter stages. We all know that. But this is a massive game for United. This is probably more important in terms of momentum and what we're expecting performance-wise than anything else today. Significance-wise for United's future and all of the financial issues and problems behind the scenes with players and that, it's got nothing to do with that. It really doesn't come into it. What this is today is a chance and a big, big opportunity to go into what is a jam-packed fixture schedule now, where we've got 7 games in 3 weeks before the end of this month in 3 different competitions to really go into them full bore, full confidence. Today is massive for that. And I think, again, I'll go down to it and say, I think performance today is probably more important than the result. Take something from this game today, I think, United. I think that's the biggest thing in all of this. And what we get from that, I feel, is what we deserve. I think that's what you've got to look at. I think this is a massive stepping stone in terms of Manchester United under Ruben Amorims and how we cope with bigger games again. Look, we've been away to all of the big guns now. We've done it. We went close to Arsenal. We beat City. We stopped Liverpool, which not many teams do. And now's the next step. Can we take Arsenal down? Because this has been a hoodoo for Manchester United for years, this ground. No matter when we play, no matter who's available, no matter what the team is, it's been a tough old ground. And if this team, under the scrutiny and the pressure that it's under right now, does perform today and gets a result, it is absolutely massive for these players. Huge, in fact, for every single one of these Manchester United players. And do you know what? When we're talking about Garnacho leaving, when we're talking about the possibility of losing 3 key first-team players this transfer window, and what we've got left to go into the rest of the window. It gives everyone else within the squad confidence. Because I don't think Garnacho will start today. And look, I'm still guessing at the team. You could easily have Bruno in midfield and Garnacho plays at 10. I doubt it. I really do. Because even Bruno talking about Manu at the moment and how he's played over the last 2 games, I don't think you're going to disrupt that midfield too. They are solid. Absolutely solid. The back three, I think, is solid. It's brilliant. Goalkeeper, I've got a big concern with. In terms of Baindir. After watching him against Spurs, that is our ultimate worry, isn't it? The front three, I mean, Bruno and Ahmad, not as concerned. We need to start building up some form of camaraderie partnership with a front three sooner or later. We need to have the Garnacho. We need to have the Højlund and Bruno. Sorry, not the Garnacho, the Manu. No, God's sake, the Ahmad. Get it right, Adam. The Ahmad, Bruno and Højlund front three working together and building up a bit more of a rapport, I feel. It would be nice to actually see some form of like partnership being built in that front line for United, because it has been drastically missing over the last few weeks. It has. And I think, like we said before, the wing backs do play a key role in this system, but still, you need everybody firing up front. And if Bruno's making assists and decisions like he did against Liverpool, Ahmad playing the way he's playing, sooner or later Højlund has to hit the mark, or he's going to be up for the high jump. I would not be surprised if United were looking at Højlund and maybe moving him on in the summer. This is the situation we're in right now. And this is where Ruben Amorims is at with his decisions and what has to be made. And to that matter as well, Ineos. Because if we're talking about Højlund possibly going, if we're talking about Højlund not hitting the mark, United do have to act on it. And I would not put it past him. I'm not put it past him. Ride says, FA Cup, don't much care. Just put in a good performance. Most important is no injuries. Climb the table and try everything to win Europa. Unlikely in brackets at the back of that as well. Arsenal will sack Arteta and get Ten Hag, and he'll win them the league. He'll win them the FA Cup or the bleeding League Cup. That's what he'll win them, Gary. You know he's good at that. David says, as a Liverpool fan, I want United to come good in the Premier League now. We've played you twice, and 4 points is good enough for me. So now he just wants us to try and disrupt everybody else and take points off everyone. Is that right, mate? I'd be the same as if it was roles reversed, mate. I would. I'd be wanting Liverpool to take points off our rivals in the league as well. Although this is the FA Cup, and it is about today. I do believe that does count towards the league as well today, because it gives us confidence, and confidence going into this run-in definitely benefits a team like Liverpool, as soon as though you have already played us, and we will take points off teams around you, like that Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge, Newcastle away from home, definitely Arsenal at Old Trafford as well. We've still got to play them, and if United are confident by that time, then you could actually see United having a big part in this title race. United will find it harder to break Arsenal down. They don't have the same error-prone defence that Liverpool have. But there is an expectation, I think, in this Arsenal fan base and around Arsenal that they go and get the win today. So gaps will appear, I think. And I think United would have learnt a lot from that last Arsenal game. An awful lot from that last game and how to approach this one. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this goes down today. We have a super chat in from Glenn Legend. Thank you, buddy. Please keep your likes coming in, everybody. Creeping up to that 200 live like mark. I've forgotten that we are only in Europe this season due to winning the FA Cup. So we need it. Weeks ago, I would have sacrificed for training time. No, it's a good point. Like, look, if we need to be in Europe, the FA Cup is important as well. And we are in the Europa League if we win the FA Cup. So every competition now, every game is important, which is why this morning I was talking about just win that Rangers game in a couple of weeks and confirm that you're qualified for the knockout phases. That then opens up the rest of this month and all of February with no European football. So a 6-week break essentially from European football, where then it's just FA Cup and Premier League for United to concentrate on. Yes, we've got one more game against Steaua Bucharest in the Europa League, but we could play a second string already knowing. Don't need to travel. Don't need to take anybody of significance. Let them rest. And it's another break for United in what is going to be an absolutely jam-packed fixture list. So, yeah, that is absolutely crucial for Manchester United as well. So let's not forget that. Good point there made by Glenn. It is. Like, we are in the Europa League, and I've got the chance because of the FA Cup. So this is important for United as well. We're going to come flying out of the blocks today. Week on the training ground would have done a lot. Daniel says Highland has done it on his own when he's had to, but well, I'm not sorry. I've missed a bit off the end of there. New players in transfer window be better than what you sell. Otherwise, you're in big trouble, says David. Well, yes. I was going to quickly check into that. Andrew Douglas says, for 50 million, let him go. This is on Garnacho. We use the word great to freely. United have a few very good players in the first team and academy with great potential. Who at United has been nominated for the highest player awards? Yep. I mean, everybody knows this. Like, we overhype it. Amram's been talking about this as well. Let's just check on any news that is coming out regarding this situation, if anyone has pulled cold water on it or if anything is happening. Looks like Mamouche is very close to City. That's about it. But yes, we are looking at the situation with Garnacho at the moment, and the news that just did come out before we went live. That Napoli now are turning their attentions to replace kvaratskhelia with Garnacho. Garnacho out of favour. But the reports are, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen there, that there is supposedly a £50 million bid being touted, and it could possibly be on the table. So, really interesting to watch this one develop if it does. And again, kvaratskhelia being sold, and if he's sold this month, and Conte saying, look, he's told me he wants to leave this month, if that is the case, then boom. That's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at that ripple effect and maybe United having to sell players. Let's see. Let's see what happens from there. But, yep, that pretty much is your roundup. I'm going to put a score prediction in right now, which is I'm going to go 1-0 United. I believe that we can get a clean sheet today as well. I'm confident. I think 1-0 United, Baynday's first clean sheet for United. It's a scary one. I know. But hey, we'll be back. Don't forget, everybody, the watch-along is going to be on Big Up later. One of the mods will put that in the live chat right now. Please do go across. Completely free. Our watch-along platform for United games. It will be in the chat in a moment. I will pin it up there as well. Please come across, get involved. You can call in to me. You can have a chat with me before the kick-off. We're starting at 2:45, so 2:45 this afternoon GMT. So make sure that you're there, everybody. Please do come across to Big Up. It's a great platform with a load of different tools on there that we cannot use on YouTube. So yeah, please do. And yeah, we will be live there at 2:45. I'm just going to pin it up right now in the chat for everyone. That is there. Come to Big Up. Join us there for the United game. After that, obviously, I'll have my reaction here on YouTube. Then at 6 o'clock, hopefully, if there isn't any extra time, I will be with Jay. We'll have the breakdown show live, giving all your thoughts and all of your comments from the game and your sort of predictions going forward, probably. And then straight from there, we're back onto football talks again for the El Clasico. So we've got another watch-along there as well. So double watch-along day, loads of content coming up. That is the third show of 7 lined up today, done and dusted. Thank you, everybody. I will see you now on Big Up at 2:45 for the Arsenal United game, and I'll speak to you all from then. Have a great afternoon, everybody. I'm going to go and fuel up. I'm going to go and get myself a drink, get some food, and yeah, let's go and kill it. Come on, United. We need this win. We need this win. Actually, just a second before I go, there's some news just coming out right now. There's too much news going on right now. Kyle Walker has privately told friends he wants to leave Manchester City because the 115 charges they will be found guilty of and relegated could damage his legacy. Miguel Delaney has said that one. That's interesting. We will see if that is true. But yeah, food for thought. Get your comments in on that as well at the bottom. And when the video has finished its live, please do get your comments in as well. Let me know about the game, Garnacho, Kyle Walker, City, whatever you want. Get them in. I'll try and reply to as many this afternoon. But until then, until I'm back, which is big up, have a great afternoon, everybody. It's so busy.